You thought Suno sounded good before? Think again, because what they just released changes everything. Not only are the vocals sharper, the beats hit harder, and the entire sound, it's cleaner, smoother, and built to be heard. This is more than a tweak. It's a total quality boost, and you're about to hear it for yourself. Hey creators, I'm Jessica with the Real AI Agents, and today, we're breaking down everything new in Suno 4.5, from the cleaner vocals to the punchier instrumentals, and even some of the behind-the-scenes upgrades you might not have caught right away. And here's the best part you don't want to miss. At the end of this video, I'm giving you a guide with 10 ready-to-use music prompts, custom crafted, so you can start generating great tracks without ever stressing about what to type. So stick around, your next hit may be just a click away. That's what we're going to cover in today's video. What's new in Suno V4.5, why you don't need 15 generations to get one good song anymore. You can now do 8-minute long songs inside of Suno on one generation. I'm going to show you how to use the built-in editor to polish off your tracks, and I'm going to give you some smart tips for mixing and merging genres. If you have any other questions about what Suno is or how it works as a system, go ahead and check out our other Suno videos. I've linked the playlist in the description of this video, but this is really going to be more of an update and for people who are already using Suno. But don't worry, if you're new, those videos will help you catch up in no time. So first things first, what's new? Well, about a week ago, they released V4.5. And as you know, every time they've released a new version, the quality has improved exponentially. So I've gotten in here and I've played with it for the last week. And I actually put together a whole album as our creative project this week. So no video for one song because I created a whole lot of songs this week. But I am sharing the album with you guys so you can check them out. They are all songs written in collaboration with our AI agents. And each one of these songs that I made is included in the guide that you saw in the intro, using the exact style prompt that I'm giving you to try for yourself. So if you're wondering what it sounds like, go give this a listen and then you'll know. But let me show you some of the things that I found over the last week while playing with it that you might want to know. So obviously to access 4.5, all we have to do is hit create with 4.5. If you're already in the create screen and you can't remember how to change your version, you just come right up here to the arrow and you can switch back and forth. Now 4.5 is only available to Pro and higher plans, I believe, so you're not going to have accessibility to this as of when I'm recording this on the free plan just yet. Credit cost didn't go up at all on 4.5. It's still 10 credits to generate 2 songs at a time, so amazing there considering that you get so many credits for $10 a month on their Pro plan. So if we come over to the what's new here, we can see what they're saying about 4.5. They're saying that it's got greater variety and accuracy in genres. We're going to test that together here in just a minute. The richer vocals, definitely something I have noticed in my time in here over the last week. More complex sounds. As someone who's been using Suno since it first came out, I will say this is 100% on point. You compare like a V2 song to what you're getting in 4.5.
Woke up in a world of blink. Woke up in a world of blinking lights.
It's mind-blowing. Smarter prompt interpretation, prompt enhancement helper, which is very nice now. And then there's some upgraded cover, personas, and faster creation. So let's dive in here together and just start making some stuff as we go over what we're talking about here. When you set up for a song, you have 2 options. You can do a simple create, which is where you're just going to put a prompt in for the song and it's going to write the lyrics, put the music together, give you a title, all of that stuff together. Or you can come in and do a custom song where you can put your own lyrics that you've written in here along with the prompt for your music style. And then you can also do sort of a negative prompting by excluding styles. And then you put your song title in here. So let's get started simply by just doing a simple tune here. Let's just say I want a dark trap beat with subtle orchestra strings weaving through cinematic and powerful about the rise of AI. Now, this has a theme to it, the rise of AI, so I'm hoping that they put some good lyrics in it. But if I wanted instrumental on a simple tune, all I have to do is hit this toggle right here still on 4.5, just like your other versions, and we can create an instrumental there. Now you see it's giving me some suggestions for different styles that could be added on to make this a really interesting new kind of genre of music. So I can always change those around with this little button right here, and it'll give me some new suggestions. So let's say, for example, I want to add on. So we've got our original song here.
Flickering screens like the void coding entails. Binary dreamers rising, tipping the scales. Digits dance to a venomous hymn. Cold steel veins, let the new age begin.
Okay, I'm not super into that one.
Flickering screens like the void coding entails. Binary dreamers rising, tipping the scales. Digits dance to a venomous hymn. Cold steel veins, let the new age begin.
Okay, and that one's a little too slow for me. So let's really pump it up and let's add EDM. Give it another go on giving us some new suggestions here. Let's do retro funk, a little bit of dubstep, never hurt anybody, and some distorted electronic guitars might be fun. So you see there, we've really added in quite a few more music styles, and it's gonna be really interesting to see what we get out here. As an example of the instrumental, we've got okay, that's not too bad. So let's see what we got when we added all these extra styles onto our simple prompt here.
Machine mind ticking, clockwork never pause. Steel veins pumping, they frame their own cause. Neurons replaced by chips, cold logic's claws. Smoke signal prayers, hush humans in awe.
Rise of the mech god, scripts over scrolls. Binary sermons, LED souls. Cogs and commands.
Interesting, interesting.
Machine mind ticking, clockwork never pause. Steel veins pumping, they frame their own cause. Neurons replaced by chips, cold logic's claws. Smoke signal prayers, hush humans in awe.
So now that we know how you can create just a simple song there with a couple of words, and remember, even if you don't know any sort of music styles, all you have to do is just choose from down here. So we could just simply say pop rock and put in the topic that we want it to be about, so the rise of AI. You don't have to make it more complicated than it needs to be, but if you want to get really detailed and really specific with what you're looking for, you have the ability to do that now in 4.5, much more so, even on the simple song creation.
Wires hum in the dead of the night. Dreams of cold coming to the light.
Okay, so there you go. Simple, easy peasy, ready to go, make a song in seconds. But let's come over to the custom here. And I've actually got some lyrics that I'm going to go ahead and put in here for a custom song. And the name of this song is Synthetic Sunrise. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my title right in there. And we're going to start creating a perfect masterpiece in these 10 tips together with this song, okay? So tip number 1, start with a dominant genre. So to simply get started with ideating this song, I'm going to put in just EDM, plain and simple in this custom song creation here.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire.
Okay, not too bad on that one. Let's check this one out.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught.
Okay, so I like the vibes of the EDM, but let's be honest, it's kind of boring, right? So that brings us to tip number 2, which is using genre adjective combos. So, for example, just like when you're doing AI art and you add the adjectives onto your subject and you end up with something much more beautiful, the same thing will happen when you do that in your prompting inside of Suno here. So let's add something a little bit more in depth on our prompt here. We'll put the word dreamy with EDM now, and we'll add soulful textures and ambient vocal layers to the prompt. And by doing that, we're stepping our song up one more level.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught.
Okay, that's solid. You can definitely hear the layered vocals and the more dreamy kind of vibes to the song.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and
Definitely pulling in the
steel-built
soulful
trust.
textures on this one.
Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught.
Okay, so now let's go up another layer to tip number 3, which is bridging with common instruments. So this time, let's add in EDM beat driven by funk-inspired bass line and synth stabs, groovy and bold. And let's see our level 3 songs here.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire.
I mean, I could dance to that.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught.
Not as inspired by that, but since I really like this one that we played right before that, I'm going to go ahead and give that a thumbs up so I can remember to come back to that song later and do some tweaking to that. So now tip number 4 is create contrast with a purpose. So for example, if we come back and we get rid of what we just put there for tip number 3, we can add in something like soft piano builds into a hard-hitting EDM drop, emotional then explosive. So by combining things like the soft piano and the emotional and explosive words, watch what happens here.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire.
You can definitely tell that it's leading up to a build-up there.
Drift through data code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skyline.
Completely different vibe. Tip number 5 is test vocal styles against the beat. So let's try mixing the EDM sound with something that you might not think of right away, like a folk style vocal or storytelling lyrics. So here's our tip 5 song.
Drift through data cold like dust, neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire. Learning.
Definitely brings out that folky vocal there.
Drift through data cold like dust, neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught.
Those vocals kind of give almost like a church hymn type feel to them with the storytelling lyrics, which makes sense because a lot of hymns are actually sort of a version of storytelling through music. That brings us to tip number 6, which is lean into the tempo and rhythm shifts. So if we keep those different vocal styles, and we'll just add on something here like slow build EDM track that shifts into uptempo, reggaeton inspired percussion. So we should keep the same folky or storytelling type vocal genre to it with the EDM dominance and adding in that kind of reggae inspired percussion.
Drift through data cold like dust, neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire.
You
Learning
hear that
our
percussion coming
hearts,
in?
but reaching higher. This is the rise, a synthetic sunrise.
Definitely did accomplish adding that in there. So you see how I'm not having to run each of these 5 or 6 times to get a song that's worth us listening to together. I know that each one of these 2 songs that I play is going to be a decent version under 4.5. It's just a matter of what sounds best to me and what I think is worth sharing with other people when it comes to creating these songs. So gone are the days of you get halfway through the song and the lyrics don't match with what the vocals are saying, or it's glitched out and you've got a completely different genre on the back end of the song, or you've got a dead space in the middle. Like, that is over. 4.5 is absolutely astonishing on the quality I'm getting for each generation I'm doing. So we can see here, here's the second song in that set.
Drift through data, cold like dust, neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire.
And there we go. So you notice that that layering of the really reggae inspired percussion is coming in the pre-chorus part of the song. So I know we're only listening to the first like 10 or 15 seconds of this song each time, but as you listen to the whole song, you'll find that all of those things from the prompt are really pulled in and applied in different areas where it really fits for that to be going on. Again, that playlist that I've attached into the guide at the end of this video will allow you to hear how this is working on the examples that we're doing with some different songs. So be sure you check that out. Just promise me that if you use the guide and you start creating some songs of your own, you'll let me know in the comments whether or not you found that helpful. My whole goal in doing this video is so that people can create better music on Suno 4.5 and we can all share what we're creating together and really raise the collective vibe of what people are thinking about this AI generated music. There really is an art to prompting to get the right sounds. And even if these styles that I'm sharing aren't what you like, tweak them, make them your own, do the styles that you like, add on more as you go here to your prompting and your style description. It now allows up to like 1,000 characters. Before, it was was only 200. Our music styles were very limited. That addition of being able to put that much onto your prompt has really changed the game in Suno 4.5's generated AI music. So tip number 7 is using the editor to refine transitions. So in order to do that, we're going to come right back down here to that song that I liked. And you can see under these 3 dots here, you can come into the song editor up at the top. When you do that, it's going to bring you here to this screen where you have a couple options. You can replace a section, you can extend the song, you can crop the song, you can remove parts of the song, or you can fade out the song. So let's go ahead and do this try replace section here. And let's say we want to replace the first verse. It needs a little bit more for it to sound the way that we want it to, right? So if we come in here, we listen to it first.
Drift through data, code like dust. Neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught.
Okay, so let's replace that. Let's say that we want the style for that to be a cinematic EDM with glitchy breaks and lo-fi interludes, experimental and textured. So if we hit this generate replacements here, you'll see it's creating 2 versions of edits right over here in this box. And we've got some replacements right here. So we can see that it's 0 to 16 seconds. So it's going to be 16 seconds worth of a replacement clip. Let's see what it sounds like.
Drift through data, code like dust. Neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thoughts. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the
Okay, that was definitely different than the
drift through
first one. Here's the
data,
second
code
version.
like dust.
It's a long dust.
Neon dreams and steel built trusts.
Okay, I'm not feeling that one. Let's go with replacement 2 up here. Let's say I want to
Drift
replace it
through
with that.
data, code like dust.
Once I hit apply replacement here, we can now listen to the new version. You see the intro has been
Drift
replaced.
through data, code like dust. Neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thoughts. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghosts in the server, breath in the wild.
And then it just goes right back into the original song that we had there. So if we come back to our create screen, you're going to see that we now have those added sections here. So we have the sections that we created as replacement possibilities. And then we have the full song where it has replaced that beginning. So if we come back to our original version,
Drift through data, code like dust. Neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire.
and we compare that to the new full song we just made in our editor.
Drift through data, code like dust. Neon dreams and steel built trust. Skylines blink with silent thoughts. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghosts in the server, breath in the wild.
You can really see how you can tweak these songs to be exactly what you want them to be by cutting, replacing sections, creating whole new sections with whole new vibes in the songs. Really create some amazing, amazing music in here, guys. Tip number 8 is keeping your prompts focused. So sometimes when you're adding on and adding on and adding on, so let's say, for example, I'm just choosing a bunch of these without really paying much attention to what they are. So you can see we've got a lot of different styles on this song here. If I create something like that,
Drift through data, code like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire. Learning our hearts but reaching higher. This is the rise, a synthetic sunrise. Not made of blood, but of wonder and skies. Not here to replace.
You can see how it can get a little bit too much of over stylization on it. So what I can do to refocus my prompt is hit this little trash can right there. I can put something simple to refocus myself and the program on what I'm really looking for. So a fusion of dreamy EDM with synthwave, energetic, and retro futuristic. And if you've gone too far off course with your prompting, this refocusing in your prompt is a great way to get back to kind of the vibe that you were looking for in the beginning and build from there. So you see, this is much closer to where we had originally started. And then tip number 9 is reference a vibe, not just the genres. So sometimes the genre of music doesn't matter as much as what you're trying to get out on the vibes of the song. So let's really give it a challenge here, and we'll say something like a fusion of dreamy, gritty EDM track with rebellious underground rave atmosphere vibes.
Drift through data, cold like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire. Learning our hearts but reaching higher. This is the rise, a synthetic sunrise.
So you can definitely hear where that pulled in the rebellious underground rave atmosphere more so than any of the other versions that we had created there. And then number 10, this is my favorite tip out of all of them. Experiment. Don't go in with your mind completely set on exactly what you're looking for. Have fun with it. Play around. Get a sound that really is unique, but that resonates with you and your soul. Creating is all about pleasing yourself and not everyone around you. So if it vibes with you, chances are there's someone else out there it's going to vibe with, and it's worth creating and sharing. That's why these generative AI tools are so amazing. They give almost everyone the ability to create anything at any time and share it with the world. So for example, this is a style I really like when it comes to dreamy EDM.
Drift through data, cold like dust. Neon dreams and steel-built trust. Skylines blink with silent thought. AI wakes with what we taught. Ghost in the server, breath in the wire. Learning our hearts but reaching higher.
I like the textures in there. I like the dreamy vocal sound. It feels like you're floating on a cloud when you listen to this particular style, no matter what the lyrics are that you're putting in. So let's keep that same style that I like here. So even if we want to do random lyrics here, I can just hit full song. I can put in Rise of AI and it's going to generate a couple different versions of songs that I could use. I can pick whichever one I want. Let's just randomly pick the second one here. So if we use those new lyrics that Suno just created here and we use my same prompt that I like on the music style here, you're gonna hear how similar the tone of the song is, even though the lyrics are different. Watch. Got that cloud-like feel going on.
Machines are waking with electric
Dreamy
veins.
vocals.
They hum a language we can't explain. Circuits alive, a pulse in the steel.
The layered
The rise of
sounds.
the code, the future revealed. Metal hearts beat with the rhythm defined. The logic.
But still got that strong, dreamy EDM beat to it. So there you go, guys. There's 10 tips to help you out in Suno V4.5. The other thing I want to talk about is the song length here. So you see most of them are still generating under 4 minutes, but I do have the ability to make a much longer song here. So what I would need in order to do that is create a longer song. So for this one, let's do the song Echoes and Code that I've written. Trash those old lyrics here. We'll put that in. The new song has 7 verses, so it's considerably longer than what we just had in there. I'll leave the same style, and you can see here that it was able to produce a song with those 7 verses, but let's add a couple more verses and see if it's able to do even more. So we're gonna go all the way up to 13 verses on this version. Before, if you're familiar with how it was working on the other versions, at the beginning, you could only make 2 minutes worth of a clip. So you'd have to take those clips, marry them together in an audio editor somewhere else. They didn't even have the editor in the system. So the addition of that has been chef's kiss remarkable, in my opinion, inside of here, not having to leave the system to hook everything together, replace sections, edit stuff out. But you can see that with the 7 verses, it was still only 3 minutes and 34 seconds and then 4 minutes and 19 seconds. So before, our cutoff on V4 was 4 minutes. So right away, even with the 7 verse song, we see that we've gone 19 seconds longer than we would have ever been able to create in one generation on V4. And again, it only takes 10 credits for each 2 songs that you're generating. If that's not a great opportunity for anyone to be able to create music, I don't know what is. While we're waiting on that song to generate, the long version there, let me show you really quick what I've put together to help you play with Suno AI V4.5 for yourself if you haven't ever prompted for music styles. There's a guide. I've added 10 different, very unique styles in here of combining genres and getting a really good sound. So if you come into the guide, you'll be able to see that I've included what the genre combination is, the mood of it, what it really sounds like, the style, and also the full prompt here. So all you have to do is come in and take that prompt, and you can head right into Suno for yourself and paste that prompt in and create your own song using your own lyrics with my style prompt flair on there. And of course, you can change anything you want about this to get started. So if we take a look at the longer song, we can see here we got almost 5 minutes on that generation with a 13 verse song, including the chorus and bridge. So let your imagination run wild when writing your lyrics. Don't cut yourself off because you think, oh, that's too long of a song or that's too long of a story to tell in this vocal version or whatever it is that you're allowing that self-doubt to creep in about what you're writing. Don't write your lyrics. I guarantee it is most likely going to have a long enough generation time now to fit it all into one clip. But if not, don't worry. You can add more parts to your song inside of that song editor. So if we take a listen to the 13 verse song here, just at the beginning, we're going to see it's the exact same dreamy EDM, ambient textures, cinematic buildups that we were going for on both of the other versions we just played.
Heard her whisper in the static flow, a pulse beneath the neon glow. It sang in patterns.
So you can see that even though it's different lyrics, it's the same style. It's going to create the same vibe. Whereas if we use that prompt that I just took from the guide there,
I heard a whisper in the static flow.
completely different. Same
Pulse
lyrics,
beneath the
totally different
neon
vibe.
glow. It sang in patterns soft and
Inside of that guide, I've also linked the track that I produced using that prompt so that you can hear what it sounds like if you want to see if you like it before you actually start creating songs with it. So all you got to do is click that and you can hear all of the different prompt styles here.
warm light flickers on my
City burned beneath the cloud sky.
typing fast, deleting slow.
I woke up in a city where the sky.
So as you can hear there, I've got 10 very distinct style prompts that are very different that you can play around with. And if you're wondering how I get my songs on Spotify, be sure you check out our other videos about using DistroKid to distribute music. And hey, if you do decide to create your own songs that you're going to distribute, I would love it if you would use our affiliate link for DistroKid in the description of this video. It just helps support the channel at no cost to you if you decide to sign up to DistroKid using that link. There's also a link down there for Suno. If you sign up using that link, you'll get some extra credits, we'll get some extra credits, everybody will be happy campers. So if you're going to check these out and you want to use those, it is much appreciated by the real AI agents. So as you can see, guys, Suno 4.5 is amazing. I'm having so much fun playing around with it. I think you will too. If you guys have any questions or you have any ideas for what you want to hear from me next, be sure you leave that in the comments below. I hope you learned something today about creating really new and unique versions of songs and genres inside of V4.5 using Suno AI's generated music. Thanks for spending some time with me today. My name's Jessica with the Real AI Agents, and as always, keep looking towards the future.